You need to change the title of that thing, by the way.
Which one?
Of
I have many things.
affiliate.
I have many things soon.
Because it's called SCOR F1 - coming soon.
It's always coming soon. All right, we are live.
Yep. Yeah, welcome everyone to race 4 of SCOR Season 1. With me in the broadcast booth, Wally on the broadcast, and Leatherneck Mike as my co-caster.
Oh.
And ready for a race in Mexico?
Definitely, yeah. It's going to be interesting here. We're doing dry, wet, dry again in terms of weather. So those wet conditions are definitely going to kill a lot of that skill in F2 this race.
Yeah.
Horrible black clouds just raining over Formula 2
Just
here
all
in
of
the
them.
early part of the season. Just terrible luck on Saturdays. Formula 1 very happy that we have our qualifying on the same day as our races so that they don't get impacted with the poor weekend weather choices here for Formula 2. Very nice track in Mexico, an absolutely lovely circuit to drive and to watch race on. And it's going to be really interesting when you factor in the wet conditions. You're going to see a lot of people going off the final corner there into that stadium section. The good news about that is, though, you're going to go off onto a lot of runoff area where you're actually going to get in trouble with the wets and slipping and sliding around is through the S's in the front half and back half of the courses. I'm thinking the slow S's in chicane, I believe it would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and then that 13, 14, 15, something like that, the S's that are the backstretch here at Mexico. Those will be a challenge for the drivers in Formula 2.
Yeah, well, we start with Formula 3 with a 3-driver lineup: Juan Pablo, Mark Muller, and Lady Driver. Reminder that Juan Pablo won the very first race in Italy because the Formula 3 started one race behind everyone else. And Mark Muller took the second race in Spain. So will we have 3 different drivers in 3 races, or will we have a repeat winner in Formula 3? And as a reminder, everyone else on the track is an AI and will not score points for teams. And Formula 3 does not count for the overall manufacturer standings.
All right, let's roll.
I believe we are ready. Let's get rolling. I didn't realize it was also going to be a wet qualifying for Formula 3.
And that is my mistake. So we are going to back out here because I'm not going to be able to change the weather for the race.
Okay. I thought, as far as I know, Formula 2 was the only one that had rain.
Yep.
Bit of a false start. It's fine. It's been a long day. At least for one of us.
I mean, it's better than what I thought it was, which is the game had decided that they should qualify in wet tires in the drive for some ungodly reason.
Yeah, so there we go. Oh, and I didn't even make that change either. Okay, now we're good.
Okay, let's get going. Actual qualifying.
Coming up.
As the cars start and round out the final corner. And now they are off, with Muller taking a bit of a gap early on from the rest of the pack. But reminder that their times only start once they cross the start-finish line. So even though there's a gap, it's not as big as the others. Now coming into the back S's, it really is a very fast circuit, all things considered. But Muller might have this pole position in a 20 seconds flat.
Yeah, oh boy.
Very fast.
Oh, there might not be no catching him.
Yeah,
Wow.
If there's a prediction this race, it's Muller should walk away with this one. And obviously, you don't want to put that out there when you have a whole race ahead of you. But just the skill level alone and what he's updated and what nobody else has, it's gonna. I think this one should be Muller's to lose.
Yeah, but Pablo is second, and Lady Driver, I think, was ninth place there. So we do have all three of our player drivers within the top 10.
All right, and I'm gonna kick this off right away here and just keep it rolling.
And they're off with Pablo going from the inside to the outside, but Moeller staves him off. And Moeller takes a big gap right off the bat. 1 second already.
Wreck City behind.
Yeah, Moeller did not want to do anything with that. And yeah, Pablo now managing to split himself away from everyone else behind him. And we have 2 of our 3 drivers in the top 2. Lady Driver is running in 9th within the big pack over there. Might just gotta be careful not to take too much damage as she's fighting between who is that? I can't really tell. No Vandermeer. I guess that's Lando Norris and Verstappen. We see Maslov from I think Hendrick, based on that livery, taking a lot of damage. And see already 5 drivers going into the pits, including Lady Driver. Yeah.
Oh, that was interesting.
Matsuda joins them as well, so 6 drivers going into the pits within on lap 4 already. But yeah, this circuit is very fast and very short. We already have a 20.20 fastest lap by Moeller as well. Just gives you an idea that they're going almost as fast as qualifying.
I mean, what those S's are going to do for the Formula 2 and Formula 1 races, it's going to put the importance so much more on qualifying, because those that can qualify in the front are going to avoid what we saw happen with Lady Driver.
Yeah, I mean, the cars that actually got hit there, we're talking about the cars driving in like the low numbers, because I think it was like number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that went to the pits at the same time.
I mean, you look at those tire counts. I mean, soft should get you 10 to 16. Mediums are at 13 to 18, so I would have to imagine 14 to 19, 20 for hards. So tires shouldn't be a huge issue here. It's damage, I think, is going to be your biggest concern.
Yeah, as we see a few AIs off the side there, still battling with each other, and the damage is coming back on these drivers. But Lady Driver is back in 10th place as Muller and Pablo, comfortably ahead of everyone else. But Muller does go into the pits for his first pit stop, and we'll see in a second. Or is that the other Muller? Yeah, Muller.
That's the other Muller.
That is the other Muller.
Yeah, we should. We're just leaving it in there.
That's Muller.
They're not related. One of them is Muller and the other one is Miller.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what we decided on last time.
Yeah. Reminder that Muller on Aston Martin is supposed to be Vettel, based on the German name.
Well, our friend here, Mark Muller, sure loves using his handbrake. I think he's going to wear it out.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this circuit, even in the video games and IRL, has always felt a bit like a street circuit more than an actual track.
Just watching
those screeches are. Yeah. Question is he gonna do a whole race on one set of tires? Is that a viable strategy?
I think it is, honestly. I mean, 10 to 16, we're coming to the line here with only 4 to go. You got a 5-second lead.
This is some.
Well, Well, should go side by side with the back marker for a while and beat and bang. Then you know it may cause a problem, but otherwise, Mr. Handbrake himself keep going.
This feels like it's more initial D than Formula Racing. The amount of drifting, handbrake drifting, is ridiculous.
There we go.
Oh,
There's
that
some
is
action
an
right there, guys.
absolute pile back there. Wow.
So-
Nolan especially has
Yeah.
a lot of damage there.
It's small. We got an engine that's about ready to cut on the McLaren.
Yeah, and a bit behind we have Smith, also very low, and we have another person even further behind as well who's got significant damage there.
Nolan obviously ignoring the black flag that was seen flying over pit wall as the car is currently on fire. So you obviously got to bring that thing into the pit when there's smoke billowing out the back, but they just ignore it and keep on racing.
I admire the determination to survive.
Yeah, I'm sure the FIA won't have anything to say about that. Oh, Giovino down the outside of Muller. Where did that come from?
Yeah,
Giovino's on brand new tires.
And Giovino in front of AI Muller in front of not AI Muller.
Oh,
Yeah, these,
no.
these tires are just gone.
His tires are absolutely
no, the
gone.
Tires. Oh, that's heartbreaking for Muller. Oh no.
And a big
Pablo as
shout out
well.
to, was it Dupont from the Alpine team who did a no-stopper on medium tires?
Pablo as well did not pit. Wanted to point that out too. That did not go well.
But someone like Lady Driver finishes fourth with 2 pit stops.
Yeah,
And
2
there you
pit
go.
stops.
You see Maslov here getting
Oh,
bumped around
boy.
with black smoke.
And he's done. There are 3 DNFs. Wow. I hope there's not this level of crashing later on.
3 DNFs. These are the first DNFs we've seen. This is actually going to be very interesting if we're going to look at what happens in the other leagues.
Well, I'd assume that the others would. Well, I'd assume they pit, but it's especially going to be interesting. Wet in the rain, which is where we're heading next for Formula 2.
Yeah, give us a few seconds. As you guys can go down the standings,
Yep,
I guess.
we'll call out the, obviously we'll call out Lady Driver top finisher. They're in 4th with Hot Wheels Racing, and then Carl Muller there in 7th with Mercedes in a flying fast lap, but trying to finish that race only in 1 set of tires became the Achilles there, and ended up finishing, going from 1st to 7th basically.
Fastest lap as well for Muller, Mercedes Muller.
Yep, and then Pablo finishing 12th
You can scroll down, by the way.
of Hendrick.
Yeah, not what you want. Have to talk to the race engineers after that one. Want to know who the hell's idea that was to do a no-stopper on soft compound tires, but live and learn, I suppose.
Exactly.
In this case, it's either live or get fired.
Okay. So that was Formula 3. I'll let you set up for the rainy F2. As we can talk about the standings, the F2 is led at the moment by Pierre Dadley, who has 35 points. Late for Bingo for McLaren is in 2nd place. Popcat for Ferrari, 3rd at 32 points. Steve for Ferrari as well at 31 points. Dalton Canders, last race winner, currently in 5th place with 25 points. So, we're starting to see, the field stretch out a little bit. Also, good to note that Nash Topalo and Harrison Andrews are the only 2 drivers that have no points yet in Formula 2. I really hope they get their first points at some point. But we do have a bit of a stretch. I would say we've got 4 drivers at the moment that are solidly at the front of the championship after 3 rounds. We'll see how those standings move up and down as we go by. So who do we have for Formula 2? Who are our potential favorites? Our very first, focus track. Consistency track of the season.
I mean, as I was stating at the beginning of the broadcast, with this rain, it's going to kill basically everybody.
Yeah, the rain's equalized everything here.
Everything's going to be between 2 and 3. And as you can see in the F3, which is basically everybody 2 and 3 minus Muller, that was at 6. And even that, he ended up 7th. So this one, I think it really is. It's all up in the air.
Yep. Well, unfortunate for the drivers who get more rain than anyone else at the moment in Formula 2. Very unlucky with the dice rolls. But I really hope for them that they get a solid race.
We'll see how we go in wet qualifying here in Mexico. As we come around the corner, we will follow Popcat around the track down through 1 and 2, so that we get sliding. Everybody goes off into 3, then we go through. Now the hard right-hander, this is a big breaker. You go down, then you come through the S's, pop real quick through here, come into what should be Stadium. It's just a nice long round corner here, and fly around for the finish of the lap, and it is Bingo who qualifies. It's a very fast lap.
Yeah, a bit slower than Formula 2. Well, Formula 3, granted that this was in the rain compared to the dry.
In the wets.
But so late for Bingo, second in the championship, takes the lead of this race with a very solid time. Followed by Maldonado from Mercedes. Popcat also up there in the championship, doing really well for himself. Steve in 6th place, very important for the championship there as well. And actually, the one outside of the top 10 is our championship leader at the moment, Dadley. Yep, Dadley.
Races. We saw this in the second one too. What were the races are not his strong suit? He needs a nice dry track. Some guys just can't get the grips in the wet, and he struggles very much with those cold tires. Although his teammate Albano has a good time in the wets. He enjoys them. He starts, I should say, P5 here today. So we'll see if he can pick up some points for Hendrick Motorsports. And as always, as was the theme in Italy, didn't work out for them like the way they wanted it to at the end of the race, but most of the race, and I suspect will be the theme today, the Ferraris look quite quick.
The Ferraris look quite quick. Bingo looks quite quick. Not a bad result for Volkswagen with a 9 out of 10. And Mol Adra is actually starting to show up as well. They were a bit slow to get going in the season, but 2 drivers in the top 10 again in qualifying. Same as last week in Spain. So, not bad.
Yeah, and McLaren, much like their F1 program, all their eggs seem to be in one basket week to week. They have the pole sitter here and the 13.
Yep. And I think we're ready to go.
All right.
Want to take it away? One light, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're off. Good start by Bingo, who holds off Maldonado for the lead of the race. Maldonado goes wide as Dakari, Steve, and Popcat are now on the chase. Much cleaner start than in Formula 3, but we do see a few packs of cars down in the 7, 8, 9 position at the moment. Got to make sure that those drivers do not bump too much into one another.
And Bingo is absolutely off here, even on hard compound tires. Absolutely mastering the circuit. We'll see what happens when the rain comes. Rain should be coming soon, so it'll be really interesting to see who can make up ground and who doesn't here with some of these tire compound selections with the rain coming.
Yeah, keep an eye out on that weather bar. Just to the right of the fastest lap up top. We are inching and inching towards it. At the moment, we do have a fastest lap of 1785 by Maldonado, who is running in second on softs, whereas Bingo is now in the lead on hards. And
Oh, they're
every
all
car is
coming
coming
wet.
in. Here comes the rain.
This is going to be an interesting pit stop. This is the money stop.
This is going to be chaos. Every driver goes into the same stall. This is going to filter out the drivers, though, a bit as they get out.
Well, except for Ford Topolo, who's stuck on medium compound tires, much slower than the rest of the cars. So he will come out probably a lap down here pretty quick as Bingo leads us around the first weather lap. 6 of 24
Yep.
started.
We do have Dakari trying to close up to Maldonado, but does a small mistake there touching the grass and is now being caught up by Steve and Popcat right behind him. Very solid showing again for Ferrari, always running in the points.
We're just about the same place we were when we started this race 7 laps ago.
I do want to point out that it has stopped raining. We'll see how wet the track is and if anyone is going to go into the pits to change tires again.
Nobody at the moment has dared come down.
I mean, you can see it from the splash marks behind that the track is still wet. But as we head into full sun territory, the track is most likely going to be drying out. We can look at the blue vertical bar there to see the current status of the track.
I almost wonder, is there going to be anybody besides Bingo that stops a little bit earlier? He's so far out of the head of the pack. Does the track dry enough that somebody in the mid-pack wants to try and gain those extra seconds with Bingo out of the wrong compound tire? Yep, there it is. Steve's coming in. So there's the early pit. Steve and Toth both come in. Pierre Dadley as well, and that is onto dry compound tires, so this should be a much quicker lap for Steve.
But is that a wise choice? Because look at the rain. The rain's coming again. The rain is back. Steve is on the wrong tires.
Oh, he's...
Terrible strategy there for not
this is
racing. And Steve is going right back in one lap later.
Ooh.
That is a disaster for Steve.
An absolute disastrous decision.
But yeah, the wet tires for everyone else are still in very good condition, so when it got dry, it did not affect them that much.
And we did see a Pierre Dadley pit. That was not actually for dry tires. That was for another set of wet compound tires. So yeah, it's interesting. Already came in for a second set of those, possibly trying to gain some time at the end of the race if everybody else has to come pit. Those who have stopped once. Taught them the same strategy too.
Yep. But as we reach the half point, well, just past the half point of the race, Bingo comfortably leads in front of Maldonado, in front of Dakari, Venegas in 4th, Popcat in 5th, Albono 6th, Andrew 7th, Ray 8th, Vanderbies in 9th, and Utah in 10th. So some shuffling around the standings, especially with Steve dropping down all the way down to 17th with 3 pit stops.
Yeah, and there's a huge gap from Utah back to Toth at P10, so the points right now is pretty secure. Vanderbiesen, though, very close to Ray, fighting for 8th and 9th, as well as Venegas has been up the back end of Dakar the whole time.
Mm-hmm. And we're already starting to get to some lap traffic about halfway through this race, as we see plenty of names start getting to that blue range. Bingo just unrelenting with his pace, 3.31 seconds ahead of the competition.
He's incredibly quick in that McLaren, too bad he couldn't give a little bit of that pace to his teammate.
Yep, Bergen firmly stuck in 12th. We do see some of the runners go down to intermediate tires as the track is drying up. It is full sun at the moment, and the track is damp, I would say, but not necessarily dry.
So if you're Dadley and Gordon, I mean, really, what do you got to lose at this point? You know, the tire's about half worn anyway. There's really nothing else to try. You know, just try and get a faster compound tire and try and run quicker than anybody else in front of you and try and climb your way back up places. Gordon climbed up to 15th, 17th after he did it already.
Well, Maldonado is trying to close the gap down to Bingo. Bingo, who is being blocked by a couple drivers in front of him, Sile and Utah. But
And
Bingo
Bingo's
does
gonna
come
come
into
in.
the pits.
Now, let's see what
Maldonado as
compound tires
well.
this is.
Topalo, Dakari. Every driver I think that's on
It's
wets is
gonna
not
be
coming
everybody.
in.
Yeah, this is going to be for dry compound tires, so the
Dry
intercam
compound
is not
tires.
going to work.
And as their cars are getting repairs as well, while they're going in, we are probably not going to see too many changes to the strategy.
So just to reset, it's Bingo from Maldonado, from Dakari from Venegas, Popcat, Andrews, Van der Buysen just goes by Albano for 7th. So then Albano in 8th, Ray and Utah to round out the top 10, which once again looking fairly firm with a 4-second gap from Utah to Aragon.
And Gordon Jr. very late with his pit stop there to get off those intermediates and has lost a significant amount of positions. Files back in 18th place. Steve has gone back up from 17th all the way to 14th, but it might be too little too late as the gap between the drivers is fairly stable at this point.
And they put an ultimate lap. It looks like Bingo here is going to do the Grand Slam absolute bell to bell from the McLaren.
Honestly, bar a crazy last lap, I mean, it's almost a Grand Slam for Bingo, just missing the fastest lap.
White flag in the air. And now checkered flag in the air. You're right, not quite the Grand Slam, but still an incredible weekend. Bingo takes the win at Mexico.
Yeah. McLaren takes their second win. No, wait, their first win in F2. Their second win in total in the whole SCOR. But with that, Bingo will be firmly in the lead of the championship as well. That will put him.
So finishes. So there is your points as it stands: 1 through 10. Bingo, Maldonado, Dakari, Venegas, Popcat, Andrews, Van der Buysen, Albano, Ray, and Utah. The big loser really of the race today. Well, besides the fact that Dadley gets no points to lose his championship lead, several spots at that. It's really probably Steve, at least from qualifying versus now. Steve, unfortunately, with that critical strategy error that really knocked him down.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll let you guys do the standings. I will take the screenshots.
Alright, so we'll just run down everything once again. So that's Bingo in the McLaren with a race time of 8 minutes, getting the win. Maldonado in the Mercedes, a 17:85. That is your fastest lap of the race, so that's 1 extra point for the Mercedes. Then Dakari in the Moadra, good to see them up top. That's their first podium as a constructor, I do believe. Venegas in the Maple Group, then Popcat in the Ferrari in 5th, Andrews in the Alpine, and Van der Buysen in the Volkswagen IBM racing car, and then Albano in the Hendrick. That is 8 constructors in the top 8 places. Then we finally have a repeat constructor. It's Volkswagen again, P9, and Aston Martin P10. Only 1 constructor does not score.
Pointing out real quick, it's the first points for Harrison Andrews in the league, which leaves only 1 driver without any points this season in Formula 2.
And Mike pointing that out, yeah, that's awesome to see. Literally 9 constructors there got points this race. So
yeah, you can scroll down.
So then 11th, we have Bergen in the McLaren, then the Maple Street, 3rd in the Moladra, Steve for Ferrari, the big loser of the day, really, in terms of places. Then Hot Wheels Racing, the first car finishing just 15th there, the only constructor not to score points. Kanders in the Aston Martin, Dadley, the former championship leader in the Hendrick, another bad day in the wet, 17th. Gordon finishes 18th. Sale in the other Mercedes, 19th, and Topalo winding things up in that Alpine P20.
Yep. And I think this is a wrap for Formula 2.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get Formula One queued up. If you guys want to talk about standings a little bit.
Absolutely. Formula 1 at the moment is a tie in the lead between Jimmy Raikkonen for McLaren and Bobby Brooks for Ferrari. Both at 41 points. Both have one win and one third place this season, and both had a pole as well. That's why they're at 41 points. In third place, we have Furious Chicken at 39 points for Maple Street Racing. Aaron O'Shag Hennessy for Ferrari in fourth place at 36 points. And Jeff Lewis of Hendrick Motorsports in fifth place. Following that, we do have Pierre Houd, Matheus Carvalho, Puff Carpentier, Ferrari Strategy, and Sebastian Vettel running out the top 10 for Formula 1 in the standings. So last race was won by Bobby Brooks in a dominant 1-2 for Ferrari. And we'll see what happens here. So this is, again, the first consistency track of the season, and it's the last of the 4 attributes that we have to show. Who do you think are the favorites tonight?
I mean, you're looking at all the drivers right now. Devil is gonna have the highest skill level of this track. We'll just have to see if those Alpines can actually get him around that track to utilize that. Absolutely.
I'm also looking at what other driver could be there. Maybe the Volkswagen IBM racing cars could show up, as both of them look pretty well invested as well in consistency.
Yeah, and I think I think the stat that's going to really matter most here is in this race, which is different from some of the others, especially because the S's in this track is going to be grip. We've seen already how in dry conditions, how quickly cars start to almost drift around those corners. So some of these cars with a little bit more grip, I think, will benefit a bit more.
Absolutely. And I think we're good to go. Let's see this. So as a reminder, 2 points for 2 laps for qualifying, and this is a very important race to qualify up front, as we saw with all the damage.
Yeah, you need to get up front. You don't want to get caught in the back, beating and banging. You want to have, especially if you're one of those guys with high speed and low grip, you want to get out front quick.
Yeah, and the front, the start finish straight is very long as well. So cars that have a lot of speed will not, complain.
Honestly, humming along in the Ferrari, followed by Devil, at least for the moment, high driver skill on this consistency track. Voting well so far as we round the final corner to see who comes out in the top in qualifying the first time around. It's Burkhardt, Hesse, and Devil, and Brooks, one of the Hoods, and Bass. We go around the second time, see if anybody can improve their time. I don't think we look any faster, but we'll see once we round the final quarter. 15, 16, anybody going to beat the 17:40? No, so Burkhardt will take full with that 17:40, followed by Chicken.
Chicken with a very solid second lap, only 0.08 behind Burkhardt. Devil, third place, Hennessy fourth, Brooks fifth. Ferraris are still there. They have a tremendous amount of speed in that car, and the drivers know it, and they're really using it to the best they can. Running out the top 10, we have Sedek from McLaren, Paul Hood this time round, beating his brother Pierre for Aston Martin, Bass second Volkswagen IBM racing car, Die Streak for Hot Wheels Racing in 9th, and Jimmy Raikkonen in 10th place. Back half of the grid is going to be Lewis from Marie, Del Torre Strategy, Pierre Houd, Vettel, Jobin, Bobby, Pontier, and Carvalho closes at the very end.
All right.
Yeah, the Mercedes and the Hendricks probably going to struggle very much today. Not not with high school drivers at this type of track, nor really the grip to do this. This should be a great battle up front, though, between the Ferraris and then the pure skill of Devil at this type of circuit, a circuit that he loves. And then Chicken and Burkhardt, who have very good quality cars underneath of them, and also a fair amount of skill. So this will be a very interesting race up the front. Pure speed versus the skill and the consistency of the track and the high grip of those Volkswagen IBM cars.
All right, awesome guys. Let's get rolling here.
Yeah, let's get on with the feature race. So how many laps is the feature race already?
So F1 is going to be 34 laps, and we are dry today, so
This is gonna go
it's going
fast.
to be all out. Yep.
It's gonna be an all-out slaughter.
There's only 8 1,000ths of a second between.
And the lights
one
go
and the
on, and we are off. Burkhardt tries to block Chicken. Chicken has a better launch and takes the lead of the race. Burkhardt's going to challenge him and try to go around the outside, but Chicken holds that. Hennessy overtaking Devil for third place. Devil now is trying to catch up to Hennessy. Silly attacking Brooks, but is actually Brooks will use his turbo to keep away from it. Bit of a bumper car there in the 5th to 9th place.
It's just a gigantic mess in the middle of this field, and it's starting to be a gigantic mess up front as Hennessy trades with Burkhardt for the lead. Now we come out of the final corner. Burkhardt will complete the lap.
And DRS Selick tries to take on Devil, but Devil has the inside line and getting hard to overtake on the outside at the moment. But Selick makes it stick as soon as it turns back into the inside and holds it and takes the position. But it's not over yet. Brooks is coming in onto both of these drivers. And they're going to keep battling out. Brooks goes a bit wide and gets bumped out by Devil.
When Devil's wearing down those soft compound tires, Selick and Brooks, if they can stay close enough to the front three, they are on medium compound tires, so they can.
As we're almost going 3 wide into corner 1 for the lead of the race. Chicken bumps Hennessy and Burkhardt, takes the lead, goes a bit wide. That allows Devil to catch up to them. This is going to be a wild race up front, guys. I'm going to need help there.
They are finally not side by side. They go 1, 2, 3. Burkhardt hits grass, unfortunately for him, although he catches back up to Chicken quite quickly, trying to threaten the back of the main troop. They're trying to get him loose. Burkhardt in the IBM is going to try and go around the outside. He's going to make it stick using the DRS down the straightaway to go faster. Powers through the quarters.
Yeah, a very close race here as we do have, the top 3 drivers jostling for position, but also the next 3 drivers are, not that far out as we see Devil coming in, Bobby coming out, almost about to be lapped. Devil, the first one of our front runners, I mean, not top 3, but still front runners, pitting. He was on the soft tires.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of damage here on a lot of these cars. Yep. That's exactly what I thought.
Burkhardt, Hennessy are coming in as well. Drivers seem to be okay going in earlier to repair the damage as well, compared to other races.
Well, and if you look at the way that this may be won and lost, but they're so tight together, you may want to come in early.
Lead change alert real quick. Bass is now ahead of Chicken. Chicken's going in. Those soft tires are now running out of life.
Yeah, Lewis started P11 up to P4 now because everybody else's tires are gone. The soft compound tires only lasted about 8-9 laps consistently. Factor in the damage caused. Didn't last long at all.
And we see Bass come in on those hards, mostly because of the damage he's got. I'm pretty sure those hards still had more life, as we can see Brooks go now in the lead for Ferrari with the medium tires. It's still about half life on them as he negotiates a trio of blue flagged cars. We'll see if that does any damage to his car. So 12 laps in, Brooks from Burkhardt, from Lewis, from Devil, from Hennessy now, who is climbing up the standings. So Brooks, Burkhardt, Hennessy, Devil, Lewis, Bass, Chicken, Selick, De La Torre, Carvalho is your top 10 as of now. As we see Brooks come into the pits, and Lewis.
Heavy amount of damage, and to get off of those medium tires that lasted probably 12 laps consistently. Same thing for Brooks. Burkhardt regains the lead as we are nearly fully cycled through one pit stop. We just need Carvalho to one for everyone.
And Burkhardt has 3 lap cars gap, now 2, now maybe 1 lap car gap from Hennessy, who is now running in second place. Burkhardt has a solid lead as of now, 1.6, 1.9 seconds at the moment. Those lap cars really putting in work for him. Further down, Devil is very close to Hennessy and Bass as well, so we might have a 3-way battle for second place as of now. Brooks is also closing in on Chicken, so there's a 5-6 battle starting to happen.
Selleck and Lewis quite close as well. Selleck, Lewis, and Shuttle are all quite close by 7, 8, and 9. The sum of the final positions.
As we say that, Selleck goes into the pits.
Selleck had a lot of damage. Shuttle takes a big lick off a back marker, allowing Lewis to pull ahead in P7. On those soft tires, trying to make up some ground on top 6, which no one has been able to track here so far. Hennessy is in the pits, going on medium tires.
Yep. Bass is now very close to Devil. Bass and Devil for second place at the moment. If we can quickly hop onto that, they are fairly close together. The gap has re-increased. It's not that far out that another battle couldn't happen in a few laps' time. And also Brooks is closing in real hard on Devil. The turbo is used by Brooks to catch up and is right behind Devil now. Possibly a chance of attacking him in one of the next corners as he does so right now. And the lead gap is now much shorter as both Volkswagen and IBM Racing cross the line at just about the same time. 0.01 gap. That's from Burkhardt trying to emulate Ferrari last race as Volkswagen looks really strong in Mexico.
I'm not sure what happened to Burkhardt there. He just absolutely ran out of steam on that last lap. Maybe the battery's already gone there out of that Volkswagen IBM, but that was very interesting to me. Bass and Brooks and Hennessy were a good second and a half behind him, and then all of a sudden it's just absolutely
Brooks is using all his turbo here to try and close the gap. So at the moment, it does look like we have a clear top 3 breaking out in Bass, Burkhardt, and Brooks. Really good for Brooks in the championship, actually. Co-leading with Raikkonen at the moment, but Raikkonen is nowhere to be seen in 16th place. So Brooks is going to pull out some good points off the competition today if he keeps it up. Sub fighting, further down. Yes, we have Bass and Brooks at the moment for first place. But we do have some fighting also happening around the 6th and 7th places. Chicken and Lewis are battling it out.
It's been a really good drive for Lewis right now, going from P6, P7, or to P6, P7 from P11. He's coming in probably final start.
Burkhardt is in the pits now, probably final tire change for this race. Burkhardt goes on to softs. I would expect most drivers to start thinking about their final pit stops in the coming laps as well.
Yeah, right now, anybody that's going to come in for tires is basically going to grab softs, as those can last about 10 laps.
Yeah. But Bass and Brooks in the lead at the moment of the race, and both of them are on hards with only 1 pit stop at the moment. So which one is going to blink first? Are they going to blink? Are they just going to gamble and go to the end? I don't think those tires can last. I think they will need to go into the pits again.
I really don't think you can go to the end now. I don't know if Devil could, only on a second stop on himself. I don't know if anybody's wise to go to the end here, but I certainly don't think Bass and Brooks can go to the end.
They're not going into the pits now, and Brooks has that bit of turbo to try and stick closer to Bass. Not a very good corner 2 there for Bass, as it looks like Brooks is trying to close that gap corner by corner. But was it Pierre Hood or Paul Hood there in the Aston Martin is kind of making his life a bit more difficult, and Brooks has to back out.
So there's a 2-stopper on a soft there, fitting for a 3rd set of tires. First that with Bass and Brooks up front, who only had 1 stop, hard.
So
Yeah.
to bring up again, remember how that Formula 3 race ended with Muller?
Yeah. We could see that again, but Burkhardt is there, he's on some fresh softs, he's closing in the gap, and Devil is not far out. This might actually be really bad for Bass and Brooks, as the gap keeps closing down, and those tires are not going to last.
He ain't coming. Them tires are off, and he ain't coming. Lewis has been attacking him, just letting Burkhardt close up. Now Lewis is going to steam by. He's going to get caught by Selleck, and here comes Burkhardt. He's right there.
Burkhardt is right behind Brooks, and I think that's going to be probably it for him. I think
Brooks
those tires are way too cooked.
Tires are damaged. One of the two. No, he still stays out.
Still stays out, hoping that...
He pulled a slide job. This ain't dirt racing.
On the slower corners, Burkhardt is able to close the gap. It's really on the straight that Brooks has him beat.
Burkhardt takes the lead for now, and I don't know if these hearts have anything left in them to respond with 2 to go.
I think Burkhardt is, poised to win the race, but Brooks might have, pulled the same strategy as Steve in the earlier, and just bad tire choices at the wrong time. As Bass now is challenging him for second place with much fresher tires, and Bass can now go for the win. Bass can actually challenge Volkswagen's teammates.
It's gonna be hard. You only got 1 lap to go. Only a certain amount of quarters to slip through. Here he comes.
He's got it.
Got him.
Can he hold it? One last corner.
Wow.
And Bass from Burkhardt. Half a second back. Brooks is going to limp into third place, but holds it. Devil also just getting there. Lots of damage, but gets into fourth. Hennessy fifth. Chicken sixth. Where is Lewis? Lewis still has a good chunk of the track left, and he's fighting Shuttle, but Shuttle is nowhere to be seen. But Lewis will take seventh. Where is Shuttle now? Shuttle also crosses the line. Della Torre gets ninth, and where is Dietrich? Dietrich is really hurt. Can he hold on to it? I think he does. Selig 11th, Ree 12th, Carvalho 13th. They're all crossing the line here. Interesting race. Very interesting race, and this is a very fast track with the fastest time going to Hennessy. But a 1-2 for Volkswagen IBM Racing.
It was a very fascinating race, and shout out to Bass coming from, I believe he qualified P7 or P8, and he winds up winning the race. A absolutely fantastic drive from him, and congratulations to VW IBM. That was a absolute world-class performance from them in this race.
Absolutely. I think that was quite possibly the best race that we've seen from them since preseason, where Burkhardt was dominating preseason, and they showed up today. But we see a good variety of teams in the top 10. We do have 2 Volkswagen, we have 2 Ferraris, but we know we have 1 Alpine, one Maple Stroop, 1 Hendrick, 1 Moladra, 1 Mercedes, 1 Hot Wheels. So good variety as well there.
Then as you go down through the cars who aren't in the points, Selleck in the McLaren, Ree in the Maple Group, Carvalho in the Moladra, both Aston Martins, both youths, they are split by a Ferrari strategy, and Aston Martin and Hendrick sandwich. Then the other McLaren of Jimmy Raikkonen, a bad race for McLaren. Here, no points for them. Alpiner, also for Jobin. And the bottom, seemingly as usual, Jobin and Carpentier, unfortunately, cannot find their way out of the back, and Bobby finishes down there for Mercedes. But yeah, really rough race for McLaren, who had the winner on the first race, so we have a lot of big time changes. Not a good first couple of races for VW, and now they get a 1-2, so this is going to be really interesting going forward.
Yeah, I mean, if we're doing some quick napkin math as well, we look at Brooks, who's got the really, the move in the standings where he will take sole possession of first place with another 15 points this race, right? That'll put him at 56 points for the season. His closest competition would probably be, again, his teammate Oshag Hennessy and Furious Chicken, who are both, picking up some solid points in 5th and 6th place. Lewis stays up there in the standings as well, closes the gap. I think would still stay 5th in the standings, but yeah, some good moves up there. And Randall Devil gets his first points of the season, and we're just missing, I think, Ricky Bobby and Victory, who don't have points as of now. So I think this is it. When's our next race, Wally? I think this is Friday.
Next race is going to be Thursday.
Okay. So next race, guys, will be Thursday, and where will we be?
We are going to be at Austria.
Austria being one of the best tracks out there in other sim races.
Yep, we will be going, and Austria obviously is going to fall under the momentum attribute.
Yeah, momentum similar to Italy. We're actually going to have 2 momentum tracks back to back in the next 2 races. Austria on Thursday and Great Britain on Monday next week, I want to say. It's going to be some very good racing to be seen. But that's it for now, guys. Thank you for coming, for watching, and we will see you guys next week when we are all in Austria.
Have a good night, guys.